What's up, guys? Rich Lux here. I want to talk to you about the time I thought I was trans, and let's just jump right into it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to be taking off my makeup, and I actually got this from the Tiki Taki shop, and I just use it to put like my makeup wipes. I love these travel ones, and this is gonna be a story time video, so get ready, guys. Like, if you love story times, grab a snack and come on back, baby. Yeah, I keep like little eyeshadows in here. Little blue one, and a PDRN, if you know, you know, PDRN, the snail or salmon, and then of course, yes, you know the deal with that. All right, let's talk about it. So this was back in, and this is all about like LILLY TINO situation, so we're gonna jump into that. This had to be when I was like 20 years old, 20, 21, 22, somewhere around there. Let me tell you, as I get older, it's all a blur, trust me, I try not to remember most of it, but good times nonetheless. Okay. I was hanging around a group of friends back then, and it was just like everybody wants to be a woman. Everybody wants to be a woman. It's like everybody's a woman. Where are all the boys at? So all my friends at that time, they were all either drag queens, or they were trans, or they were transgender drag queens, because that's like a thing, right? So, you know, a drag queen is just a man who dresses up to perform. And then a transgender drag queen is somebody who's transgender that also performs, all right? Man, I'm telling you, this filter is putting in work, bro. This filter I got on, it's like, it's in Power Ranger mode, okay? It's about to overheat. Anyways, so at this time, like I said, all my friends were trans, and they would get online, and they would hook up. And it was all shocking to me, right? I was just on the outside looking, and I would hang out with them. We would go out to the bars and the clubs and the lounges and things like that. And we would do that. They would sometimes meet guys, but most of the time it was like through these apps, right? Apps like Grindr was like the main one, right? And I thought that Grindr was for, you know, gay men to meet gay men, or some of these apps. Turns out my friends would post photos of themselves with their hair, wig, makeup, like a woman, and just put like TS or CD, which is a cross-dresser, you know, and hook up. And so guys would message them. Well, I would be at their house, sit on the couch, and to knock at the door, and they would be like, oh, I got a guy come over, I got a trade, trade's coming over. And the trades would walk in, and I would look, and I'm like, that is not a gay boy. And they would go to the room. Okay? And then the guy would leave. And then my friend would walk out. And I was like, I'm like, again, he would do it again. And I was like, okay, I have questions. We need to talk. I was like, these guys, they're not gay boys. They're not gay men. And he was like, oh yeah, they have, this is a very complicated story. Like, oh my God, like I'm effed. Okay, I'm still, maybe sometimes still processing to this day. So straight men that self-identify as straight, okay, would get on gay apps looking for TSCD. And then when you ask them, oh yeah, I'm straight, I like women, but they can't get women because either women want to go on a date and then wine and dine and all that stuff like that. And then on the app, it's like right here, right now, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And so they would like get on the app, meet TSCDs, come over, do their thing, and they're gone. It was like very like in and out. And my friend would sometimes be like, oh, he left his little sock behind, or, oh, that guy was so cute. And I was like, well, hit him up. We're gonna hang out, go on a date. And he's like, oh no, they would never be seen with me out in public. And it was all kind of coming together. Like, a lot of these men use transgender women for sex. Not all. Because sometimes you can be trans and have a relationship with men. Of course, absolutely. I'm just saying the majority of them would just kind of just use trans women as these, you know, sex dolls. You know, that's why I'm a doll. And so this kept happening a lot. And so I was just like, oh my God, all my friends are trans. They're all getting geesh, which basically means like Geesh is like, yeah. And so they were getting geesh. And so, like I said, geesh is just code word for like your gear, your transgender gear. You're gonna get all done up, your geesh. I recently told that to my friend, I think it was like a couple weeks ago. And he's a lawyer, and it's like, I was like, what are you doing? It's like getting in geesh, like his lawyer gig. And I'm like, oh, now he's using that to mean like his work uniform. And so anyways, I guess I'm getting out of geesh if you want to take it that far. So anyways, all my friends were trans, and I was like, well, am I trans? Like, am I trans? And I'm built like a man. Bro, I'm gonna tell you, if you ever meet me in person, I'm like down there 6 foot, big broad shoulders, little muscles. Like I'm a dude, bro. Okay, beard, stubble. Okay, I'm a beard. I'm a man. I'm a burly man. All right. I mean, if I try to act feminine, it just comes across like a joke. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you like that. So anyway, so at that time, I was like, well, maybe I'm trans. I should start my whole trans journey. Right? And they were like, oh, we gotta give you a trans name. We're gonna give you a trans name. I was like, oh, yes. My name's gonna be Rich Girl. And hold on. Let me show you what I look like when I was trans, girl. Hold on, let me show you. Oh, yeah, okay, here it is. Okay, this is what the gig looked like, girl. Hold on. You're gonna be shook. Okay, so this is what they gave me. I mean, not the exact thing, but you get the point. These are my little comedy wigs, like right here. Okay, so when I dress up like Trisha Paytas or Laura Lee, if you guys seen the videos, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I would literally get the wig. All right, this is how you probably put on a wig too. I would get the wig, go like this, put it back. Now, you never do the part in the middle. You always want to get the part and put it 90 degrees at an angle. Girl, and there you go. I will take a picture full, just like this. This is not trans. This is giving dude in a wig. LILLY TINO. Girl, the lace isn't laid down. It's not even glued down. Doesn't even look natural. I took the picture. Put on Grindr. Though it was going off, girl. It was going off. Tacky wig, girl. I'm telling you, you gotta buy at least 2 or 3 of those wigs. You stick them, you stack them together, you pin it, and it gives you length and volume. Anyways, so back to what I was saying, right? There you go. Fix my hair. So there I am, thinking I'm trans, right? Put on my little wig, posting on there. These men didn't want to date. These men, all they wanted to do is link and hook up. That's all it was. It was just a wham bam thank you ma'am type situation. I quickly learned that some people are just using their trans experience or whatever for sex gratification. And if that's all it was, then you're just dressing up in geesh just to hook up. You're not trans. You're just doing it for gratification. And I think some of them, not saying this, but maybe some of them thought they were trans, but they just thought that's what they had to do. But they weren't really trans. They were just doing it just for gratification. It was just that. Who knows? But I knew I was not going to get titties. I knew I wasn't going to get BBL, and because I have a very addicted personality. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to go all the way, right? I don't mess around. And I was like thinking to myself, no. Did it a few times. This is not my gig, girl. I'm too butch. I can't. I'm hanging around these people that got me thinking I'm trans, girl. And that's all we had talked about, the trans life, the trans experience. That's all what my friends were at that time. And that's just how I know so much about trans lifestyle. I lived it, I breathed it for a short amount of time. And I was like, no, this is not who I am. This is not who I want to be. And it's part of, I'm not ashamed of it. It's part of life. It's part of like, let me see. Is this who I really am? Let's explore this. Glad I did it? No, I'm not. No. That makes sense? Okay. So when I see Lily Tino, who's dressing up in geesh and going out and looking like a dude, like when I would go out, it wasn't like that, girl. I make sure my hair was laid at least 2 to 3 hours in hair and makeup. Laid makeup, couldn't clock. I'm talking about the process of putting on the orange concealer to hide the stubble in the beard. If you guys know, you know the contour, the laying down the liquid foundation, and then the powder foundation on top of that. You know what I'm saying? And then giving you body in the corset, in the heel. You know what I'm saying? Like the full fantasy. Press on nails, lashes, like the full effing fantasy. And I see Lily Tino, and I'm like, you're not even trying, girl. At least when I did it, I tried, baby. I mean, some of these men, they thought I was a woman, honey. And they tried to touch me, and I was like, no, I'm on my period. Do you have any photos when you were a kid? No, our house burned down. You know what I'm saying? Not to be clocked. Just going on one date or whatever, but nothing was going to happen. Like I said, I was young, whatever. But like I was saying, I'm still am. I'm going to look back at it. It was a lesson learned, did the gig, understand. And like I said, part of life is exploring and getting to know what you like and what you don't like. And I just found out I wasn't trans. But so many of my friends were. And I got to see the trans experience through their eyes and see it from my perspective. And now I know, like, literally walked in their shoes and know what it's like, you know? And so when I see Lily Tino, I just feel like, no, girl, you're not trans. My opinion, this is my opinion, guys. I feel like she's just doing it for clicks and views. It's a character that you're putting on to get clicks and views. And you get so upset. If I was, back in that day, if I went to a restaurant and somebody misgendered me a few times, I would be like, let me go back to the drawing board and let me try to femme it up a little bit. You know, what do I got to do? And it's just a je ne sais quoi of how you sit down and how you move your hands and just how, you know, and how you move. I'm not saying that you need the wigs and the makeup and earrings and lashes to be a feminine woman. You just have to embody it through your soul that you are that. You just, the movements and the mannerisms, it's just who you really are. And with Lily Tino, she doesn't even move like that. It's like she needs to go to like etiquette school or something of how, like a charm school or something. How do you sit like a lady? Things like that. It's like she didn't learn. Like when you see videos of her walking around like a dude, it's like, what is going on? And just how you speak, too. See, men love the femininity. Men love when you just smell good. You have oils and moisturizer. Like men really love all that. And yeah, guys, that was just insane to see all that happen. But I got to see the other side. The flip side of it is the amount of quote unquote straight men who are on these apps seeking trans women because it's an easy hookup. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And some of the trans women they're so down to do it because they're just like, well, I want to be accepted by a man. I want to feel like a woman. This is what women do with men. So they do that, give themselves, right? And then you got to just see like so much has been taken from me. I can see that from a trans perspective, that it's great to see when they're like acknowledged and validated. And then see Lily Tino is just like, girl, it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, you know? But yeah, the other side of that is that like these straight men, I mean, I say that these straight men because like at the end of the day, I have to respect people and how they self-identify. I mean, between me and you, if I can just keep it real, I mean, if you're a guy and you're doing things with another man with guy parts, you know what I'm saying? But then you want to say you're straight, okay, you're a straight girl. To me, it sounds pretty gay to me, but whatever. But then again, like you're thinking, like if this person self-identifies trans as a woman, this guy self-identifies as a man, then they come together, then maybe it's whatever floats your boat, girl. I'm not here to judge. But whatever. But these straight men would seek trans women to link, and they self-identify straight. And you know what though? when you really think about it, like, it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. They didn't get anybody from the club, so they get on an app. They try to get a girl. Like, well, this, and then their mind, they're thinking, this is a trans girl. They, it looks like a girl from behind. They come over and they do their thing, and then they leave, and then they go back to try to chasing other women, chasing girls, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, so they just live this fantasy that they're just straight, but they just literally hooked up with the trans woman. Does hooking up with a trans woman make somebody gay? I don't necessarily think so, especially if the woman is living and breathing and is a woman, then no. And that's why some men, they actively seek trans and not like cross-dressers. It's not, I've seen that culture too, where they're like, are you trans or are you CD, like cross-dresser? And if you're CD, they don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of that. So I think a lot of CDs say they're trans and they're not, just so they can be in that pool. So when I say all that, living that life, seeing for what it is, knowing, like pulling the curtain of the veil, it was very eye-opening to see men that would do that with trans women. And this is a topic of conversation I would love to have with other people, but a lot of people are scared to talk about it, or they don't want to talk about it. They're not comfortable talking about it, But I think that any other trans women who are on Grindr, they know what I'm talking about because they see it for themselves. They see trans women on the app and they're getting hit on by quote unquote straight men, or DL men or bi men who want that fantasy of a woman. And it's like they can't get a real woman. For whatever reason, nobody wanted them at the club. It's like, it's just easy to get on the app and find me a trans girl. And I'm not trying to offend anybody. If I offend anybody, I did my job. But if I offend anybody, I'm so sorry. Now, I didn't go to the best school, so if you judge me kindly. But with that being said, it's kind of like, it's an interesting perspective, And then there's some men who don't want trans women at all. They're like, no, I get the gig, but there's a whole thing of like, okay, is this a man or a woman? Oh, it's a trans woman. Oh, why am I slightly attracted to that? Why? Because it's giving you woman. It's serving you woman and hips and titties. You know what I'm saying? It's giving you a woman. And if you're attracted to femininity and you see someone who is a trans woman serving you pure femininity, overhyped femininity, then you're attracted to that, And there's something really cool about being able to like bend like that, like the bending of androgyny, I think that's like a shapeshifter. I think it's pretty cool about that. But I think that the trans journey is more than just wigs and makeup. It's a lot. It's something, an inner feeling, and it's something that I don't think is that much talked about. And I don't think that there's necessarily a book, because when I see trans or think about trans women, I think of like very beautiful women who are trans. But the reality of the situation is that not all trans women are going to achieve that level of like supermodel trans girl. It's just keeping it real. Maybe they don't have the money, to do that. Maybe all they can afford is hormone pills and that's it. But it's very expensive to really like shape your body to embody that femininity of a goddess. And the younger you start, the better you are. I think the better it is to achieve that. But that's a topic of conversation that not many people have when they're young. Like maybe 11, 12, 13 years old. Are you trans? If you're trying to start that journey, what if the kid says yes, but that's not really what they want? So it's a very heavy topic of conversation. But I do know that if you start the earlier you start, the better at, embodying a woman due to medicine and work that you can get done. But I don't know, that's just my opinion about it. I just want to make that video because I got a couple haters in my last couple of videos and on TikTok that I wanted to talk about it with. And then you have these, then don't even get me started on the men who actively want trans women and then like it. And then they're like, I feel weird. I feel so uncomfortable with a trans woman. It's like, now you had an experience with a trans woman and now you're questioning your sexuality. Oh, okay, got it. That seems like you got lots of work to do. Not so much a trans woman or the gay boy or the femboy. It's not something that you got to work on. And I don't think it's so easy as black and white. I like girls, I like boys. Because what if you like a boy that kind of looks like a girl? Or, you know what I'm saying? And things like that. So that's all I want to say. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. Please leave a like. I love you guys. Mwah, I love you.